expect to be getting invited to Champions, so just to be here is just an honour. Thank you.
And maybe this time you do have a chance of winning. Anything can happen on this show, so good luck.
In a moment that would forever redefine the meaning of Don't Judge a Book by its cover, 14-year-old Courtney Hadwin stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage in 2018, looking like the textbook definition of shy. Her hands nervously clasped together, her eyes barely met the judges, and her voice, soft, unsure, trembled as she introduced herself. The audience exchanged puzzled glances, and Simon Cowell's signature, bored and skeptical, expression said it all. But then it happened. The music dropped. And with the first electrifying belt of Otis Redding's Hard to Handle, the room erupted into absolute chaos. It was as if Courtney had been body snatched by the spirit of Janis Joplin. Her voice roared with a raw, gritty power that didn't just fill the room, it tore it open. The transformation was so drastic, so unbelievable, that Melby literally jolted back in her seat. Simon's jaw dropped, and within seconds, the crowd was on its feet, stunned into a collective "what just happened" moment. Howie Mandel, visibly shaken, didn't wait. He smashed the golden buzzer, sending golden confetti raining over a teen who looked like she still couldn't believe she'd done it. That performance didn't just go viral, it detonated. Overnight, Courtney Hadwin became the name on every screen, trending across YouTube, Facebook, and every corner of the internet that still had room for a good old-fashioned jaw-dropper. Within days, her audition clip soared into the hundreds of millions, becoming one of the most watched AGT videos of all time. She wasn't just a contestant, she was a sensation. But what no one realized at the time was that this performance wasn't just the start of her rise. It was the beginning of a complicated, controversial journey that would soon unravel behind the scenes. Before the golden buzzer, before the stage lights and viral chaos, Courtney Hadwin was just a quiet girl from the seaside town of Hartlepool, England, more likely to be found hiding behind a book than standing center stage. But her story didn't begin on America's Got Talent. Long before she shocked Simon Cowell into silence, Courtney had already made waves in the UK on The Voice Kids in 2017, where she reached the finals and wowed British audiences with that same explosive voice. Still, even then, she was a walking contradiction, a teenager too shy to speak in public, yet somehow channeling the soul of gritty blues legends like Janis Joplin and James Brown when she sang. Her dad once revealed that Courtney rarely spoke at school and often struggled to make friends. In fact, she was bullied for her quirky style and old-school music taste. Kids didn't understand why a 13-year-old girl was obsessed with Motown and funk. But what they didn't see was that Courtney wasn't performing to impress anyone. Music was her escape, her armor, her way of surviving a world that didn't quite get her. Her parents noticed it early, how she'd light up the room when a record played, how her anxiety disappeared the second she started to sing. Behind closed doors, her family supported her completely, but they also kept her grounded. There were no stage moms or industry puppeteers, just a girl and her voice figuring it all out. And while AGT might have introduced her to the world, the truth is, Courtney had already spent years transforming pain into performance. But no one realized just how much that pressure would build once she crossed the ocean into the global spotlight. Going viral might sound like a dream, but for Courtney Hadwin, it was more like a ticking time bomb wrapped in glitter. Just days after her jaw-dropping AGT audition exploded online, she was hurled into the unforgiving machine of instant fame. Suddenly, she wasn't just a teenager from Hartlepool. She was a global headline. Morning shows, red carpets, interview requests from every media outlet you can imagine. But while the world clapped, the pressure behind the scenes was suffocating. Courtney, who once struggled to speak in class without shaking, was now expected to perform on demand. Smile, talk, pose, repeat. And the internet? Oh, it wasn't all applause. Trolls came fast, questioning if her shyness was an act, mocking her dance moves, criticizing her every outfit and facial expression. Some even accused her of mimicking Janis Joplin too closely, calling her a one-trick act. The girl who once sang to escape the noise was now drowning in it. Behind the curtain, rumors swirled. Courtney was skipping press appearances, missing rehearsals, possibly even melting down from the pressure. And yet, there was no official statement, no dramatic tell-all, just silence. Fans grew worried, while critics sharpened their claws. The truth is, child stars rarely get a crash course in coping with overnight fame, and Courtney was no exception. AGT had turned her into a phenomenon, but it hadn't given her a roadmap for survival. And what happened next would leave even her most loyal supporters asking, was the fame worth it? With the internet on fire and fans screaming her name across continents, Courtney Hadwin entered the America's Got Talent finals as the clear favorite, or so everyone thought. But in a plot twist straight out of a reality TV soap opera, the unthinkable happened. She didn't win. The crown went to magician Shin Lim, and just like that, Courtney's golden momentum came to a screeching halt. The backlash was immediate. Fans flooded social media with outrage. Hashtags like #CourtneyWasRobbed trended for days. And even media outlets questioned whether AGT had just fumbled one of its most viral contestants ever. But what really raised eyebrows was what came after. Silence. No debut album. No world tour. No fast-track record deal. For someone who had just lit up the internet, the industry seemed curiously quiet. Whispers began. Was Courtney being held back by AGT's ironclad contracts? Did she clash with producers over creative direction? Some even suggested she turned down major deals to protect her mental health. And as weeks turned into months, fans began to notice she was slowly disappearing from the spotlight. For a girl with the world at her feet, it felt like the doors of the industry were slammed shut before she even stepped through. The viral girl was fading. But little did anyone know, Courtney Hadwin wasn't giving up. She was just retreating, rebuilding, and getting ready to take back control in her own way. Just when the world assumed Courtney Hadwin had vanished into the viral graveyard of Remember Her sensations, she resurfaced, not on a big TV stage, but in a place where she could finally be herself. Her YouTube channel. Gone were the flashing lights, the forced interviews, the pressure to perform like a reality star. In their place, gritty, stripped-down performances filmed in living rooms, dim-lit studios, or sometimes even just corners of her home. It was intimate, unfiltered, and raw, and fans couldn't get enough. This wasn't the AGT Courtney. This was Courtney Hadwin, the artist. She began releasing original music, pouring her soul into songs like Breakable, and That Girl Don't Live Here. No backup dancers, no stage gimmicks, just a voice and a story, finally hers to tell. While some followers missed the wild energy of her televised performances, others applauded her for daring to evolve. It wasn't about screaming for attention anymore, it was about honesty, emotion, and artistry. And while the mainstream media largely moved on, Courtney's most loyal fans stayed by her side, watching her reclaim her identity piece by piece. Through every upload, she proved she didn't want to be just another reality TV product. She wanted to create something real, something lasting, something that couldn't be boxed into a talent show edit. And as her views climbed and her confidence grew, one thing became clear. Courtney Hadwin wasn't fading out. She was just getting started. But behind her quiet rise, one question remained. What toll had this journey taken on the girl behind the voice? Behind every viral sensation, there's a human being trying to hold it all together. And for Courtney Hadwin, that anchor was her family. Long before the red carpets and golden buzzer moments, it was her dad, Paul Hadwin, who captured her early performances on a shaky camera phone and believed in her before anyone else did. While the industry buzzed about record deals and marketing strategies, her parents kept one thing non-negotiable. Courtney comes first. They turned down offers that didn't feel right, shielded her from media storms, and refused to let her become just another reality show puppet. But the emotional weight of her sudden fame still took its toll. Behind her fierce stage persona, Courtney battled deep anxiety, struggling to reconcile the girl the world expected with the girl she actually was. Rumors even circulated that she sought therapy to manage the pressure, though nothing was ever confirmed. Unlike many young stars who dive into chaotic Hollywood circles, Courtney kept her personal life remarkably private. No paparazzi scandals, no headline-grabbing romances, no drama bait. Instead, she leaned into her own growth, musically and emotionally. She read more, wrote lyrics that hinted at internal battles, and embraced solitude as much as stage lights. Friends and fans noted she seemed more grounded, more intentional, and more self-aware with every passing year. In an industry that chews up young talent and spits it out before they can blink, Courtney made a quiet, powerful choice to grow up on her own terms. But as she matured behind the scenes, the question still lingered. Would the world welcome her back when she was ready to return? After years of near silence, Courtney Hadwin has begun dropping clues, and fans are piecing together what looks like the dawn of her biggest comeback yet. In late 2024, she sparked chaos across social media with a cryptic Instagram post. A moody black and white photo of her in the studio, captioned simply, "Time." No context, no hashtags, just one word. And just like that, rumors exploded. Within days, eagle-eyed fans spotted her in sessions with underground indie producers, known for working with emotionally raw, genre-blending artists. Then came the surprise single, Spellbound, a haunting track laced with grit, pain, and vocal control that felt light years beyond her AGT days. Critics noticed. Fans wept. Even some of her old doubters came crawling back. The sound was darker, deeper, and drenched in personal truth. Rumors swirled of a full-length debut album in the works, possibly releasing in early 2025. Whispers of label offers began again, but this time, Courtney held the cards. Insiders say she's negotiating full creative control and pushing for a hybrid release model, streaming, vinyl, and even a visual short film. This isn't just a comeback, it's a reinvention. One that feels deliberate, defiant, and dangerously close to iconic. But even as she rebuilds her legacy brick by brick, there's a sense that Courtney Hadwin is no longer trying to win the world's approval. She's just daring it to keep up. And with every cryptic post and gut-punch lyric, fans are left wondering, what else is she hiding up her sleeve? Courtney Hadwin didn't just go viral. She detonated into public consciousness like a firecracker at a black-tie dinner. But while most child stars flame out, sell out, or burn out, Courtney did something far more rebellious. She walked out. She vanished from the mainstream not because she failed, but because she refused to play the game on anyone else's terms. She sidestepped the fame factory, pushed away the pressure, and instead built a quiet, intentional path toward artistry. No handlers controlling her sound. No scripted image. Just a young woman learning to breathe again after nearly drowning in applause. Her journey from a terrified teen on the AGT stage to a soul-driven indie artist is less about comebacks and more about ownership. She owns her anxiety, her silence, her music, and finally, her voice. She's not chasing headlines. She's building a legacy. One song, one story, one raw truth at a time. And while the world may still label her the AGT girl, Courtney Hadwin has already outgrown that title. She's no longer just a viral moment. She's a movement, a quiet rebellion against the idea that you have to fit in to be unforgettable. And if her new era delivers what the rumors suggest, we're not just witnessing a return. We're witnessing a revolution, led by a girl who used to be